Greetings YouTube, my name's Mike and this is the first time I'm doing a video for YouTube. What I want to do is share this new adventure I'm going on. When I was a kid, I worked in the shoe repair industry, or actually just a little shoe repair shop with my brother-in-law and his dad, two old school Italian guys from Sicily. After that, I've been tattooing for over 35 years. And ever since I stopped in shoe repair, I get asked on a weekly basis, man, do you still do shoe repair? And so it's always been in the back of my mind that I might get back into it. So the channel is going to be basically kind of going through fixing shoes, some kind of, maybe some tattooing, and just stuff that I'm interested in, kind of stuff that we want to share in our lives. So our first video is me repairing my favorite pair of Doc Marten boots. For the most part, they're almost impossible to repair, just how they're constructed and how they're made and all that. But I kind of was watching YouTube, saw some guys doing some other ways to repair them, and I devised my own way to get it done. I just put a midsole on it and a conventional Vibram sole, and they seem to be holding up pretty well. Actually, I was looking around for them in the shop, and I'm actually wearing them, so they're doing great. But it's going to be interesting. I'm going to try to challenge myself with some different kind of repairs that maybe I haven't done before. I'm looking into actually making shoes, but there's a lot of work to go before I get to that point. Thanks for watching.
So here's what we started with: a pretty beat up old pair of Doc Marten boots. They've served me faithfully a long time, but now they need some new life. Doc Marten uses a very different way of attaching their soles to their uppers. You actually have to sand the sole material off. So it's actually a very different type of material than conventional shoes. I got the welt all sanded flat and smooth. Now I'm just going to put some glue inside and replace the foam inner sole, so it'll make it nice and comfy to wear. This next step I skipped, but I actually hand stitched that midsole on there in the original holes that the Doc Martens were stitched on with. So now I'm just putting a light coat of glue on there. I'm going to let that set up and dry for a little while. Sometimes you can activate it with heat, but this seems to be working out pretty good. You can see you don't have to use a lot of glue. This next step is a little tricky sometimes too. You can see there's a little fuzz that got stuck in there, or part of my beard, or a bug, or something like that. So, but the trick is to line the sole up with the shoe, and you pretty much get one chance to get it right. You can see I kind of goofed it up there a little bit, but who's really watching? And you have to kind of push that thing down there, make sure it's flat and it fits. I could use a little bigger sole, but these shoes are size 14, so they probably don't make a much bigger sole than that. And of course, the fun part, just beating the snot out of the thing a little bit. You can work out your aggressions. Pretty cool. This next step is using a machine that we didn't have back when I first started working. It's a pneumatic air press, and it just applies a nice even pressure to the heel and sole. I'm only showing you working on one shoe at a time. Doing both would just take too long. It's a little redundant. Here's the sole going in. This thing really does actually work pretty good. I think I got to do some adjustments on the machine. It kind of leaks a little bit, but it's doing the job for now. So after the sole's attached on there pretty good, it's not going anywhere. It just comes time to trim it. That's a lip knife pretty much specifically for shoe repair. As you can see, I got to get my knife sharpening skills up a little bit. It's been a long time since I've used them, so you'll see. So after you trim the excess off with the knife, then it's over to the finishing machine. It's basically a belt sander with different grit sandpaper to give it a little bit different finish. You got to be careful because you don't want to damage the top, and you got to keep everything kind of square, looking good. It takes a lot of practice, but I kind of fell right back into it. It's cool. Well, if I didn't have my knuckles already tattooed, I'd probably get that. Well, now that the sole's all trimmed and looking good, it's time to tighten up the uppers. Put some shoe dye on them. Get some of the light spots squared away. Being careful not to dye those yellow stitches, the original stitches. So, looking good. Now it's just a matter of getting some polish on there. Just a little bit will do it. Get in there, brush it all on. Buff it off pretty good with these brushes. The wheels make it a lot easier. Well, there you go, mission accomplished. Got them all done. Shining them up by hand a little bit. Little brush action. Never realized how darn big my feet were. Gee whiz, man. They look like Bigfoot or Sasquatch must be wearing them things. They look pretty good. Well, that's it, folks. All done. And like they say, every great journey begins with the first step. And this is mine. Thank you so much for watching.